My name is Scott Parrish. I'm from Spartanburg, South Carolina. My mother was a bartender and my dad was a pharmacist. It was a pretty normal family. We grew up with alcohol and prescription drugs. You know, my parents, they were young when they had us, you know. I had a sister a year older, and that was the way of life, you know, that's partying. You know, there was always, on the weekends, there was bands, there was guitars and banjos, and there's always a fiddle in the band. And somehow fun equaled alcohol. I didn't know that till years later, but that's how. And then my dad was a pharmacist, and he had a sexual addiction. And I learned that, and he took me with him a lot. So I learned that drugs equaled sex. And so I just kind of started out, you know, on the wrong path. And I started getting in trouble at an early age. I went in the military. I thought that would straighten me out, but no, it didn't straighten me out. But they had a fix for my problem. It's called antabuse. So I spent 3 out of 6 years on antabuse in the military, and drinking was not an option at all on that. I did a world cruise and 2 Westpacks. I've been all over the world. I've worked all over. I've been in 26 states. In the United States working, I've worked my whole life and just blew everything that I had. You know, I'm 58 now, but I never thought that I would continue at this pace, you know. And I didn't have no consequences really until I turned 40 years old. And then DUIs and driving without insurance, and everything started compiling. And I sought treatment several times. I went through a couple 6 to 8 week treatment programs, and they were useless, you know. And then I finally went into a treatment program that was God oriented, and my eyes were open. And when I graduated, I had 7 warrants for my arrest in other states. So I knew to get everything right was going to be, you know, $14,000 to $20,000. So I had to start clearing up the wreckage of the past, you know. I graduated a program, and while I was cleaning up my wreckage of the past, time it grew. I'd been in transition for long enough, and they said, you got to go. And me, a 35-year alcoholic, I was just gripped with fear, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And I called a friend of mine, and he introduced me to Kyle Marsh and the Next Steps program. And that turned out to be the perfect next step of my life. A lot of programs, they just grind you into AA or NA, and it's just meetings and meetings and meetings. And in Next Steps, we kind of have a brotherhood. We get to know each other, and we work programs and get to know. There's a saying that says drinking and drugs didn't make me who I am. Who I am made me drink and use drugs. So when you take that out of the equation, there's the problem. And Kyle, we work a program, and you start looking at yourself, and you start learning how to have fun. A lot of times, you just aren't happy in recovery. You know, it's not fun. You've been doing something for so long and nothing's fun, and you know, and we do all kind of events and you know, just move forward, you know, baby steps, moving forward, you know, a little at a time, and then recognizing problems as we go. And then we've got other person like, yeah, I've been through that, you know, and it works out really good. It works out really good. All my family's gone. There's no mother, no fathers, no grandmas, no grandpas, no uncles, no aunts. It's good to have family, you know what I mean? It's good to know. I know if my car was to break down on the freeway, there's 3 or 4 people I could call, you know? And 4 years ago, there's nobody. every day you move forward a little bit. And you'll have hiccups, you know, where you go back. And it's just all about getting better, you know. And it takes a while, you know, it takes a while. My name is Scott, and I trust the process.